Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cutout to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool, cool nerd like my man Zoe. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art.
Alright, so here's a cool little trick for small flames of fire. If you have the Series 2 Human Torch base, I got quite a few of these, so I don't mind cutting up one for the sake of a display or whatever. But see, I got Wolverine with his little cigar here, and I got a little candlestick right here. But if you cut off very small portions off of the flame base here, then you can just stick it to the candlestick or to the front of the cigar with a real small piece of wax. I've done this before with the candlestick, so I'll show you. So there it is on the candlestick. I did this one kind of sloppy. I usually sit it right on top so it's more perfect, but I kind of sat in the front to create the illusion from the front. That flame is actually probably a little bit too big, but probably could cut it down a little bit more and sit it on top, but just so you get the idea. So I probably could have actually just took a small piece of wax and rolled it up and stuck it on the front of the cigar to give it that effect as is the flame, but I just think that this works better on picture. It'll give it more of a kind of glow. So let's see how it looks. So that came out all right. It was decent. I probably could have cut the edges and rounded the edges just a little bit more, but you guys get the idea. And for the record, this little cigar came with the Grandpa Munster that I bought like a month or so ago that had the chemistry table set in it. So again, random things, you could break them down and get the props from. I actually had to rip the cigar from his hand. It was molded to his hand, so I just ripped the cigar from his hand. But as you can see, it still works pretty good with the 6-inch figures, because that was like a 7-inch scale figure. Talk about just posing a little bit, and you know, I've been showing like a lot of dynamic stuff and using the stands, but the basis of anything that you're trying to do with ACBA starts from a simple pose like this. If you can't get a relaxed vanilla pose and make it look natural with them just standing and be able to line up all of the joints at the pelvis and at the upper thigh swivel and really just make it look realistic, then you're not going to be able to do anything dynamic. So I mean, you should really just start with no stands. I mean, if you a newcomer to this, all you got to do is practice with just standing the figure and making it look natural. Really, at the end of the day, that's where it all begins. Making sure both feet is planted, making sure everything is lined up. I could have even lined up that arm there, the wrist there, if I really wanted to go the extra distance. All right, it's Tuesday morning. It's been a huge lapse in between me recording stuff. Last week I was like, I didn't get any packages, I didn't buy anything, I didn't record anything, I didn't take any pictures. I got really sick towards the end of the week. I'm still kind of recovering from that cold, and so now I'm picking up this week. I didn't plan on putting out an MTIT last week anyway, but it would have been nice to have a little bit of footage to get things situated for this week. But anyway, yesterday I divided the entries from the World Championship Tournament among the judges. So I guess we should have these graded in the next couple of days. Really tremendous, awesome round. Some really nice things happened in this round. I'll go over a couple of things individually, but a really nice round. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be the final 5 and the 5th and final round. So we're going to see how that pans out. Also, yesterday, Solid Snake got the first wave of the new Marvel Legends, and he's putting out reviews. He did a good thing. He started out with the reviews of the variants, which are the figures that Advocate didn't review right away. Advocate did review the variant Steve Rogers more recently, but he didn't have the Stealth Iron Man armor or the Red Flame Ghost Rider. So Solid started out with those. He actually started out with the Thor figure, which is a little different from the SDCC version. So that was cool that he did it that way. gives us a nice variety of, gives us everything, basically. I'm sure he's going to go ahead and continue to review everything else. So if you haven't checked that out, you could check that out. So far, the Thor is up, the Iron Man, the Ghost Rider, and he's continuing, I guess, today with some more stuff. So I guess by the time this comes out, they should probably all be up, man. I thought this Iron Man armor came out pretty nice. I don't know what's up with that stealth extremis armor. I've never seen that either. He mentioned that in the review, but I think it came out pretty damn nice, though. All right, looking over some of the tournament entries, this is Chino Marino's set. He's been pretty consistent with some really nice pieces and doing some innovative, creative things. One thing that has also been consistent is his visibility of his stands, though. I really don't like the way that looks. I really didn't like the way that looked. And just some minor things like the road being up there, some little sloppy minor details that he could have fixed up I didn't really like, and I wish that he would have just made it a little cleaner. Other thing in this is you can see the stand across Spidey right there. You can see the stand on the ground right there. I just wish he would have did a better job of trying to hide those. I thought this was really cool with Optimus and the transformation here and Spider-Man flipping over, but what I didn't get was the transition here of Optimus transforming and Spider-Man looking like he's punching him, but it's in front of the other one. It looked like Spidey was backflipping over the truck, so it seemed like the next transition should have been behind that going forward. It just seemed like it was kind of backwards to me. I didn't really understand that, but and then the last thing is the actual punch or what's happening here wasn't a clear death blow. It didn't really look like anybody was a clear victor right there. There was no effects there to say that Spider-Man ended it or that Optimus ended Spider-Man or anything. So that was kind of weird to me. But overall, it was still a pretty solid set from Chino Marino. And here we have a set from Slings of Web. Another solid set. I don't think it was one of his best, though. I think he could have actually did a couple of minor things to just make this better. It was a great concept with Von Strucker just sucking the life out of Cap. Pause that. And draining his energy all the way down into he was a skeleton. And but I just thought again the transition seemed a little off, the way it was going from right to left as opposed from right to left in the transition here. Like it seemed like it was backwards to me. I don't know. It seemed like it should have went the other way around. Like Cap should have been on this side, and then the draining should have happened to the next panel to the right. It was seemed backwards, like Chino Marino said to me. But the effects and everything here was good. It was dope. I think he maybe could have put a little more sparks around the body, but it made sense. It was clean, and it was straight into the point. So I thought it was still a solid set from Slings. Then we got Which Ones here, which with one of the most solid pieces in my opinion. I think this was one of the most solid sets all around. Nothing seemed out of place. Everything was crispy. Everything was clean. It was to the point. His set was good. The posing was good. I thought this was one of the most solid sets in this round. I didn't really find anything wrong with it. The cutout placement was perfect. I thought this was a really solid set. This is going to be an easy one to judge, in my opinion. Really amazing set here from my man Shuriken to the balls. He did like a still motion, but he used extras as the additional panels or the movement of Goku here. So I thought that was really dope. I think it came out really nice. I think he could have exaggerated some of these Skrulls poses a little bit more, though, and really made the hits pop a little bit more. And I think that some of his cutouts could have been just a little more crispy, but it was still a really solid set. And he really did his thing here, man. I thought this came out really nice. So I didn't really find too much wrong with this. Maybe he could have hit the stance just a little bit better. Maybe this cutout could have been a little cleaner. He had the right cutouts, though. I just think that some of them could have been a little cleaner, but this was a really solid set from Shuriken to the balls. Real nice. I enjoyed this one. Really good set here from the D-Man. Really nice concept. Seems to be one of the favorites from a lot of people in this round. My only gripes with this one is that he had some extra people in here. He had a lot of different people, and the rules clearly said that you could only have two characters, and only way that you could have more than two is if you simulate an emotion. So you simulate motion here, but again, this Ant-Man is really not the same character as the Giant Man he has in the next panel. He's got a lot of people around. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I didn't particularly care for the posing there on Ant-Man. It looked a little stiff, and I didn't really particularly care for the posing that he had on Giant Man here either. I thought he should have really made it look like he was throwing that train. But overall, this was a dope set, a really nice concept. Giant Man versus Atom Smasher, and I thought it came out really nice. His background, everything looked good, like the scaling and making them really look huge. He did a really good job of that. This effect with the train hitting him and the metal going through his chest and all of these cutouts and stuff right here was really clean. I thought this particular scene right here was so clean. He did the death blow. It was one of the best in this round. He really showed it here. I mean, he's not coming back from this right here. So I thought that was really nice. But it's just a matter of these extra people and some of the posing. And I thought the D-Man throughout the tournament put out some really solid entries, but I thought his posing in a lot of cases was a little subpar, and he needs to probably just work on some posing and making it look a little more dynamic. Like I said, I just didn't really particularly care for this transition, and it didn't look that good to me. And this throw looks really stiff. But otherwise than that, it was a really solid piece. I enjoyed this one a lot. Marvel Walkies with a very creative, nice piece, a nice transition. Sub-Zero versus Kratos, the God of War. So this came out really nice. It was a nice transition. Everything seemed really clean and crispy. This was a really solid entry. I think they did a really good job, especially with these Mortal Kombat figures. I think they suck so bad, but that's just my opinion. But I mean, that's what ACBA is about. We make a lot of horrible figures look good, but I thought this was a really solid set. I didn't really see too much wrong with this, man. The finishing move with freezing them and breaking them apart and everything like that, I thought that came out really nice, man. So good job to these guys.
Get a few portrait shots. Taking a few more shots. I took the webbing completely off of the Spider-Woman. I got like 4 Spider-Women, and I got a newer one recently where the webbing is good. Showed it in some episodes back, but I just completely took the webbing off of this one. I think it looks better, actually.
Alright, so finally the grading process for me begins. Each of the judges got 2 entries to grade this round, and then I'm a grade 4. So I'm about to sit down and grade my 4 entries right now. Just finished my preliminary scoring. I got action figure expert scores, and I got Trevor Harris's scores, just waiting for solids. I usually do my preliminary, go through everything once, do my scores one time, let it marinate for like an hour or 2, and then come back and watch them again and start deducting points or maybe adding points. I'll watch it a few more times. I done already watched all of the videos mad times. And then once I get everybody's scores and I look and I see if anybody else's stuff needs to be tweaked or whatever the case may be, and start deciding who's going to move through. Only 5 people moving through this round, but out of my scores, the D-Man and Marvel Walkies scored high and look like they'll both be advancing, but we'll see what happens. Definitely a few things that need to be discussed though. In the D-Man's entry, I scored his entry anyway, even though there might be a DQ because of the extra people that he had and because he didn't really use the same character. He used Ant-Man and then he used Giant Man, and those are 2 different characters, and you know, I don't really want it to come down to those type of technicalities, but the rules are the rules. I'm gonna have to deliberate with the other judges. And then in Chino Marino's display, he used 2 different Spider-Man as well. It wasn't the same exact Spider-Man too, so, but it doesn't look like Chino Marino would have scored enough to advance anyway, so I don't know. I got to go over those type of things. I hate having to go over that type of stuff.
All right, so this first package was a package from my man Solid Snake. He hooked me up with the movie Legends line, Thor and Captain America here. Pretty nice figures. I actually like these guys. They're decent. I like the look. I like the feel. I mean, they actually feel like Marvel Legends to me. Just a few minor issues that I have with the figures. But as you guys know, there's no Walmarts in New York. I wish this would be the last time they do Walmart exclusive, Target exclusive. It's just so stupid, and it just really just fucks up the game. It's just not a good look. But my issues pretty much with both of the figures is that they don't have a waist joint. I think that's so whack. I hate this joint right here. It just doesn't make sense. I don't like when the figure's arms can't go completely to the side, especially on a soldier figure on top of that too. I really don't like that. And otherwise than that, it's not too much that I find wrong with these two figures. Only other thing though is this shield for Cap is a failure. Mine is actually not as bad as some of the ones that I've seen from other people. This one is not warped as bad, but the fact that they would use this type of plastic for the shield is just so stupid and so ridiculous. It makes no sense why they wouldn't just put the harder material out for the shield. But I kind of been thinking about these guys in a couple of days before I got them, and I don't know if I want them. I don't know if I want them because I'm not a big fan of movie figures for one, but I do want to build my movie Avengers, but I realize that this is not going to be the movie team, though. This is how they appeared in their individual movies. Now, the Legends that we saw at New York Comic Con for the movie, those are the ones that you need to grab if you want to build your movie Avengers. This is just them in their individual costumes from their individual movies or whatever the case may be. So I don't even really know if I care about these that much. Now, the fact that I only had to pay the $7 for them is great. I wasn't about to pay the $20 and even upwards of like $30 in some places when these first came out. They had them at New York Comic Con. People were selling them for like $30 and $35. I'm glad I was able to get them for $7, but I think I'm gonna just take some pictures and stuff with them and then probably throw them in the FSP and wait for the movie versions to come out and build my Avengers off of that. And I also don't like there's no wrist hinge on Thor. Makes no sense for a character that has to like throw stuff or like, you know, it's just silly to not have a wrist hinge. They got the wrist hinge on Cap. I don't know why they wouldn't put it on Thor. Talking a little more about simple vanilla posing and how practicing with that can get you to be better at doing some more dynamic things. But once you master that, then you should be more comfortable. I mean, just working with the figure every day and practicing simple things will make you better. I mean, it's like anything. Practice is going to make perfect. And you got to work with the character's attributes, the figure's attributes. Like, I did something really subtle here, but something that can convey realism by just resting his hand there on his holster, on his gun there. That's a normal motion that a person would make to just rest their hand on their gun, almost Wild Cowboy style. But the way that his hand is made is just perfect for that. You got to look at certain things like that and say, you know, what attributes does this character have where I could use him and work with him and do certain things and make him look cool. So I mean, the guy looks very realistic the way he's standing there and holding his gun there, and again, the feet are planted, even out the legs to distribute the weight so he doesn't fall over. And just that simple type of thing right there can help you. And if you keep doing that and practicing that with different figures, then eventually you'll be able to do some more dynamic things. Something else pretty simple, because of the way his hand is built, you could kind of put his hand, position it on the cape, and it'll kind of look like he's kind of pushing it back. Too bad the cape is not a little thinner material where you could actually push the cape back a little bit and make it look like he's kind of flailing his cape back. But that's another little simple maneuver and different things like that. Again, I'm just working with the attributes that the figure has. Because the hand is open like that, I can do that. So just, simple things like that. Practice simple things like that. Another really simple, cool maneuver, the hammer rested on the shoulder. Looks really realistic. It looks natural. Simple things like that you can try as well. But again, I'm working with his attributes here. Although he can't really grip the hammer too well in this hand, he does have the double jointed elbows, and the hammer can rest right up there on his shoulder. Looks like he's taking a load off, staring out. So that looks really good too. Feet are planted. Everything's lined up pretty good. He's standing tall. Looks good. More simplistic stuff, stuff that conveys emotion,
Still not really any dynamic poses, but the poses are still pretty decent. Iron Man kind of comforting Thor. Looks like he about to cry or something like that, or something sad happened. And you see Cap there. Another simple motion you could do, the hand on his belt for Cap right there. And he's casually holding the shield, kind of looking up at Thor like, dog, you about to cry? But, you know, simple stuff like this, practicing like this and getting all of the poses right and stuff like this. This is how you start. This no wrist hinge really bothers me. You can't flip the hand up and make it right for a throwing pose. That's whack. And the fact that he can't grip the hammer as well as I would like him to, that's pretty whack too. Look at that. I can't put it up more. Well, there it is. It's staying, but it still don't even grip how I would like it to. Just going over little stuff. I don't want to do no like in-depth review, but as I'm setting them up and try to pose them and do stuff, then I will point out little things. Trying to get some right angles for some pictures here. Just can't get these stands, but see, it's a sloppy mess down there. But at the right angle, it almost looks like a comic cover. So overall, these guys are okay. I would probably be a little hard on them or scrutinize them a little more if I really cared about them that much. But again, they movie figures. It doesn't really matter to me. It's still a step in the right direction for what Hasbro was doing, and you know, I would like to see them take some of the things away from here and put them into Legends. But you know, they just keep leaving out one or two things when they produce these figures that would make them all that much better. And I wish they would just pay closer attention to the minor details. Here's Cap with his little Tommy gun too. Good thing about this Tommy gun is you could use it for the actual 616 Bucky that we got, because the Tommy gun that he came with was not as cool as this one. But we need a new Bucky. We definitely need a new Bucky figure too. But again, Cap is okay. I probably like Thor a little bit better than Cap. Neither one of them is that phenomenal to me, but they're not garbage. They're definitely decent offerings from Hasbro. One thing that I forgot to show last week was the white background. I mean, obviously I've showed it plenty of times in MTIT, but I didn't talk about it when I was talking about taking pictures and doing video and stuff like that. White background I like a lot. It really makes the people pop, the figures pop, especially in a picture. It's like they outlined, and it really looks really good. But one thing I notice in some people's stuff when they're doing their little light box and they're making a setting up for their pictures and stuff like that, is you got everything's got to be crispy. Even your backdrop has got to be crispy. See, it's about time for me to start replacing some of my construction paper, because a lot of it is bent, and you can see right here that it's like has a little crease in it, and in the picture when that shows up, it doesn't look good, especially if you're trying to make your white background look like it's the sky or something like that. It's not gonna look good. That crease is gonna mess up your shot. So even stuff like that, I watch out for, and I make sure it's no creases in the back when I'm taking a picture, and make sure everything is real clean. So if your backdrop gets a crease in it, then you might want to change it. My black one's got a crease in it too, and I gotta keep like fixing it when I'm taking the pictures and stuff too. But stepping up a little bit here from the vanilla and getting a little cover style shot. So a little something quick with the white layer technique with the cutouts. Simple vanilla posing, something that anybody could do. Make sure you're standing upright, chest out, pronounced, one little cutout. Alright, some more simple poses here. This actually took a while to set up because just trying to get everybody right and spaced out and get it on camera. But another very relaxed scene here, little family portrait, Magneto and his kids. But again, this is very simple posing, but you know, I tried my best to really make it look authentic and make it look realistic, and things you got to do with the attributes of that figure. And Magneto's hands work well to kind of go on the shoulders, and I tried to really make him grasp them how I could. I couldn't really get him on Scarlet Witch's shoulders, so I have him on the cape there, but I got him pretty good on Quicksilver's arm. Spaced them out really nice. Everybody's feet is planted. And we got a nice little portrait there. But you know, take your time with really setting up scenes like this and really making it look official. Take your time and make sure the hands are touching and body parts are touching. I went the extra mile. Made sure his hands was clasped together in there. I probably actually could have put Scarlet Witch's arm up a little bit, but overall still good. Should be a nice picture. A little more progress in my X-Men portrait. I added that Magneto, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, how I had them earlier. I got some little like foam pieces that I could use to raise them up. You might want to probably move Scarlet Witch over a little bit, move them over to the right just a tad bit, but it's coming along. One more simple scene, just vanilla posing, but the way that I have him clutching the pumpkin bomb there, making sure the right hand is really grasping it because it's already attached to his left hand. But you know, just that simple type of thing is little simple things that you could do to really make things pop. Spider-Man kind of just looking over his shoulder like, this motherfucker got a bomb. Probably should have his spider sense going off, but you know, we going for simple things here. This motherfucker got a bomb.
Something else real subtle in the pose department. Not too many people mess with Sasquatch. This is one of my favorite Marvel Legends. Real dope figure, but it's got him kind of cracking his knuckles. I just kind of wish he didn't have that face. It's kind of hard to like put him in more relaxed situations with that stupid look on his face, but this is a really dope figure. Definitely one with a lot of articulation that if you want to try to like work on your posing and work on your vanilla posing and, you know, do things with, this is definitely one to really try with. I wish we could get more Alpha Flight members too. Now I gotta try to get this guy back up into my X-Men portrait.
I gotta try to get Guardian back in there. I gotta push Angel back a little bit, but I'm liking the way it's coming along. Some more minor tweaks and stuff that I gotta do, but I like the fact that they together kind of outcast in the back. This is becoming the mutant family portrait, but I mean, Magneto's part of the X-Men now, so I don't know. I like the way they kind of just isolated in the back though. Like, alright, y'all could get in the picture, but y'all gotta be in the back. Fuck y'all. Y'all did some questionable things. Just running around real quick. I'm sure I'm gonna end up at the comic book shop, so take y'all on a quick ride, play some music. Let's do it.
And just let me know what the deal is.
Yo! New York City, this is motherfucking Boog Nice, man.
Loud enough?
You can turn up a little bit. I'm in the best shape of my life. All my bitches look right. Both my girlfriends is friends with my wife. Yeah, I know that's nice. I mean, they so chill. A fiend asked me for a dime for 9. I had to tell that nigga no deal. 25 sets of 20, then some oatmeal. Fresh squeezed juice. Then I fuck it all up and share loose with my father. Makes no sense, but I'm getting dollars. Holla if you hear me. You ain't gotta love me, but I bet you will fear me. If you try to wrong me, you get off, man. The 45 is on me. Deadly with the semi. That gangster shit is in me. We up the west side in the Charger with the Hemi. Get the dollars in my pennies. The kicks, not the coins. Your bitch on my groin. My dick is like boing. The boings are the shocks. I'm a sneakerhead. Fill the bong up with pop. I'm a reefer head. Fill your chick up with cock, and when she go to bed, it's back to the block.
This is new to me. They never have anime stuff. Alright, so I just grabbed a couple of books from the shop, from the comic shop. I was really going down there for a different purpose, but I did get Justice League #4. I forgot to get 5, and then I got X-Force 20, 19.1, 19, 18, which I read on the way up. And then I also had to stop in my parents' house to pick up some more of Tyler's comics for the FSP. So he gave me 6 of those, which will support us for the next 6 months. He had actually stopped by my parents' house yesterday and dropped off the books there, and actually met my parents and hung out with them for a while. And my man Mums was actually over there too. So that was cool. I wasn't even there. I didn't even see him at all. But at least I got the books for the FSP, so that was real cool. Okay, this has been another episode of Meantime in Between Time. Trying to hurry up and shoot this last scene. I done indulged a little bit. Trying to finish up my drinks over here. This week was kind of crazy. I had a lot of stuff going on with the family, and I didn't really get to do as much stuff as I wanted to do for Meantime in Between Time. I didn't really get the packages that I was anticipating, so hopefully those things will come next week. I got some real nice things planned. We still patiently waiting for the first wave of Legends to show up here on the East Coast. They've been showing up so many places throughout the West and the Midwest throughout the week. I've been updating the ACBA like page with that information. So please don't forget to come like us over there. Come join us in the Facebook group. We're about to be at 1,000 members in the Facebook group. We rocking out over there. Again, big shout out to all the young dudes doing their thing and posting and just keeping up with the art form. And shout out to everybody putting out their weekly shows. My man Tenacious Rick and Hey Shane Miller and Super Noob and you know, anybody that I forgot, man. But you know, shout out to you guys. I'm watching everybody's stuff, and I'm really trying to keep up to date with everything. A lot of nice things coming down the pipeline for ACBA. This episode was, I believe, the 50th episode of Meantime in Between Time. Not the official 50th episode. I know it's episode 45, but counting like the special New York Comic Con editions and SDCC editions, this was actually the 50th episode. But the official 50th episode is coming up, 5 episodes away. Some really special things that I'm trying to do in that 50th episode. And the episodes leading up to the 50th as well. So look out for that. Look out for the tournament grades to come out maybe tomorrow or the next day. I should be putting out a couple of videos this week, but you know, we back to the basics this week. I'll talk to y'all next week. All right, peace.